Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Episode 95. Episode 95, Franco's World. Thanks for stopping by. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Franco's World _. Subscribe to the show wherever it is you get your podcasts. Leave a review. All that. I'm on YouTube. I'm trying to make clips. All that stuff. Tell your friends about the show so it can grow. And yeah. All right. Here's the deal. West Virginia basketball. I got to talk about them for a little bit. It's the alma mater. I know a lot of my listeners have no affiliation with West Virginia basketball, but I need to talk about West Virginia basketball for like 5 minutes, okay? Because that loss to that Syracuse team honestly hurt me more than my breakup did a year ago. And it took me a while to get over the breakup. And I've basically gotten over the West Virginia loss, but the initial sting of the loss, the breakup I had with my girlfriend was due to circumstance. We want different things now, or we want different things in the future. Let's get it over with now. That way it doesn't hurt as bad. The basketball game, I had built it up in my mind that this WVU team, this West Virginia team, with all the craziness that had been going on in the college basketball world, with the blue bloods of college basketball sucking. Duke stinks on ice. North Carolina stinks on ice. Who else is a perennial power? UCLA is like a mid-tier team. Who else? The classic blue bloods. This year's crazy, okay? And West Virginia playing in the Big 12, you're getting the best of the best week in and week out, which now I guess is like the Pac-12, I guess, the premier basketball conference. I don't know where. But and the Big 12, like I said, it's a tough conference. And West Virginia competing at that high level, winning games. They're coming back from major deficits, and the games that they're losing to the top tier teams are by like one possession. Bro, that Gonzaga game early in the year when we had Oscar Tshiebwe, who didn't even finish the year with the same roster, we lost by like a handful of points. We were winning midway through the second half, a late push and a couple of bad charge call with a 7-point swing. Speaking of which, I got to make a point about the charge call real quick. That call, along with, not that in the Gonzaga game, but the charge call, and the basketball rule where like you have a billion seconds to bring it up the court if you call timeout or if the ball gets knocked out of bounds in college basketball are bananas. I'm not saying this is why West Virginia lost to Syracuse. I'm saying it aided in the loss to Syracuse because Syracuse had them at a puncher's distance all game, played a great game, shot the lights out. 2-3 zone was, you couldn't penetrate it, okay? I want to get that out there. For the Syracuse people listening, this isn't, you play great. This isn't about you. It's a dumb rule. And I think you'll admit it too, that what do you mean we can trap you in the corner for 8.5 seconds, you call timeout, and then you just get the clock restarts, and then you can also get trapped in the corner again for another 8.5 seconds, throw it off somebody, goes out of bounds, get trapped in the corner again for another 8.5 seconds, finally cross half court. How is that allowed? How is that a thing? That doesn't make sense to me. Logically speaking, that rule in basketball does not make sense. So that rule needs changed. And the charge call, what was once a staple of, gritty white guy defense, taking charges, diving for loose balls, is now, it's so sad that you're seeing 7-foot tall big men get breathed on and falling over. It's so sad to see that. It's flopping, and I know they're calling this is the flopping call. This is what, for those watching video, this is literally the flopping call that refs do when people flop. This is the flop warning. Looks like they're about to fly away. All right? It's so sad to see big men just go down for no reason in the paint when it's body to body, and then they're backing into them, and then that one final backing into them, boop, fall over, poof, going that way. Doesn't make sense. The charge call's bad, and it gets even worse when you hear this scenario. Say ball handler driving towards the hoop. Some guy comes in so here's the ball handler going towards the hoop. Here's a defender over here. And they meet at the block. And he's running and he stops. Okay? He's running full speed and he stops and lands on his feet right before the guy gets there. Holds his nuts, falls over. charge. Why are we rewarding people for holding their onions and getting hit and falling over, impeding progress? And that's a charge. How about shuffle in front of them and play good defense? I'm so tired of people getting rewarded for holding themselves and falling over. How is that defense? It's not. Back to West Virginia basketball. The way that this season was going, I really thought this was the year, and I want West Virginia to win a title in one of the major two sports in my lifetime. I'm sure we all do. All us alums, all us West Virginia natives. There's like 1.8 million people. I'm sure like 1.4 million people want West Virginia to win a national title in their lifetime. Okay? It's so devastating to lose to an 11 seed and in a weird year with a team that just seemed like they were really figuring it all out. They're fighting every single game. There was no quitting this team. Dude, I was just devastated. I was genuinely bummed out, bro. I drove home after that West Virginia game and listened to Landslide by Fleetwood Mac, and I was emotionless. I was expressionless. I was just driving home solemnly. I was in a whirlwind of emotions. I had nothing left to give. I was just blank staring at the road. That's all. I mean, like, I had nothing left to give. I felt like I was out there fighting on the court. I was so bummed after that West Virginia loss, man. Like, I feel like my therapy session was earlier today, and I spent the first 5 minutes of that therapy session talking about West Virginia losing basketball game. And I'm not that type of guy when it comes to sports. For me in sports, man, especially not when I was working in it, but like now it's like, dude, sun will come up tomorrow. Relax. I guess I just built the idea up in my head that this was the year for the West Virginia team to finally do it. And next year, if everybody comes back, I think they'll have a really good shot of doing it also. But the thing is, will they all come back? Because you have idiots tweeting at the athletes. That's a pandemic in of itself. A pandemic of idiots tweeting at athletes in all sports. It's a job. It is a job that I know you're very upset. Maybe you lost money, and maybe you sink your life into, you live vicariously through a team, and your mood is depending on how they finish. That's not a healthy mindset to have. Okay. Stop tweeting at athletes. Stop, and especially if they're not on your team yet, stop tweeting at recruits to come to your university. That's so weird. That is so creepy. Stop tweeting at recruits. Stop tweeting at athletes, bro. That one guy from Ohio State missed a couple free throws in a stupid, dumb tournament, and the stupid, dumb earth is where a speck of dust in outer space, there's infinite galaxies, and you're going to take time out of your day to tell the kid to go off himself. And you do it from an anonymous account. That is so soft, bro. Stop tweeting at athletes. Stop tweeting negatively at athletes. It's good to congratulate them if they worked hard on something, but don't tweet negative things at them. All right? They're not professionals. They're 20 years old. National stage. Obviously going to freeze up. Dude, I have to say hunch over like this. This is so painful. My doctor says I have slight scoliosis. I got to stop bending over like this to do my show because it's genuinely, I'm getting hurt doing this. But whatever. This is for the love of the game. Stop tweeting at athletes unless it's a good thing. All right? Because I'm seeing people tweet at WVU athletes, and I really would like this team to stay happy and a little bit fired up to want to come back and prove them wrong. So maybe if we all tweeted at them like, hey, you guys are a great group. Would love to see you all run it back again next year. You're going to be even better. Let's all do that. If you're going to tweet at them, do that. All right? Sister Jean. Got to talk about Sister Jean for a second. Two things. One, why is she only using her powers for her little basketball team? We have many problems going on in the world, and she's choosing to use her powers for her little basketball team. I have issue with that. Also, I'm not sure if this is the real Sister Jean. I think there's multiple Sister Jeans. She's 101 years old. You really tell me they're going to bring you to a basketball game during a pandemic? 101 years old, wheel her out there, and she looks like this. She looks like Bernie Sanders at the inauguration, sitting there like that. You kidding me? That's not the real Sister Jean. I think the real Sister Jean is either back wherever Loyola Chicago is, probably Chicago, idiot, or she's gone. she's in the afterlife, because that first initial run that Loyola Chicago had was great. Everybody loved Sister Jean. Now you're telling me that's the same Sister Jean? I think maybe a new person comes. It's a Loyola Chicago. It's a religious school. Maybe it's like the Pope. Puff of a plume of smoke arises over the Loyola Chicago campus, and then a new Sister Jean is announced. Maybe. Weird that all the religious schools are doing well this year, though. Loyola Chicago, Oral Roberts. Not many people know Creighton, I'm pretty sure, is a Catholic university. Very weird. This is weird stuff. I got to talk about rejection I got recently. And that's been a theme past couple shows. A little rejection. So, remember when I was slamming media agencies last week on the show? About 4 hours after I put that out, I got an email saying I did not get the job I interviewed for. Wonder why that was. Probably because this company, who I know, and if I wanted to, I could name names, and if I wanted to, I could name the type of people they hire and the type of work they do, and how some things are fishy and fraudulent, and the awards that they win or the awards that they're voted for don't really make any sense, because the people that are, who are these publications that are rating them? Like, how do you rate this? How do you quantify that thing that they say they're the best at? And I really would love to absolutely give you the whole 411 on this. I know the type of people they hire. I know the type of work they do. I know what I've done. For me, I didn't have internet, and I've built a media brand, and I didn't have internet until like a couple months ago. And you don't think that's impressive? I learned everything by myself. You don't think that's impressive? That's weird. That's just a weird thing. Oh my God, I got people tweeting at me. Hold on. That's just a weird thing. That's just a weird thing. Oh my gosh. So people are wanting to start like fights in my comments, and I'm somehow involved in this. Let's move on. I completely lost my train of thought. So rejections hurt. The rejections hurt from jobs. And when I got that, so this company said to me, they said, I applied for a position, a remote position, and they said, hey, we're not hiring for that position anymore, but we think you'd be a great fit for this position. They said, quote, be a great fit for this position. We looked at your resume and experience. We think you're a great fit for this position. Fill this one thing out for us. We'll count that as your first interview. Let's get it rolling. I said, sweet, thanks, great. Filled it out. Couple days later, hey, listen, it's a competitive gig here, and we're going to go a different way. You should have seen the email reply I had in the draft. You should have seen it. Luckily, cooler heads prevailed. I'll tell you about the email now, but cooler heads prevailed because I could have burned a bridge I had yet to cross. It's probably not a good thing. It said, hey, thanks so much for the opportunity to interview. If you know of any other positions, I put quotes. I put her quotes, the HR lady's quotes, in my reply email. I said, I wanted to say, if you know of any other position, quote, I'd be a great fit for, end quote, let me know. Thank you. I did not say that. Instead, I was like, all right, well, thanks for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Hope to hear from you. Never going to hear from them. And I can't wait to make a nice career for myself one day, because I will absolutely eviscerate this brand. No, Bill Burr actually did talk about this long ago. I remember hearing it many years ago. He said something like, you hear all that no, you hear rejection, you hear that you suck, you hear this, that, when you're coming up doing it, what it is that we do. And then you have it in your mind that, man, once I reach that pinnacle, I'm just going to be like, ba, 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 ba. My therapist calls it slashing. You want to slash them. And right now, slashing sounds nice, but I know in the future, it's just in poor taste. So I'm probably not going to slash this company. If you want to know more about it, I'll tell you more about it. If you're interested to hear like what it is, sure, I don't care. But yeah, the rejections hurt, man. And it just hurt to almost be lied to say that I'm a great fit for a job and then, not even really give me a chance to do what I do best, and that's talk one-on-one. Bro, I'm not kidding. Like, yeah, like it was a copywriter job, so obviously they want me to like write, quality stuff here, but if you give me the chance to talk, it's over. It's over, dude. If you give me the chance to talk, uh, I'm like Nick Saban in the living room. If you give me the chance to talk, I'm like Nick Saban in the living room, dude. I could sell snow to a ski slope. Come on. What else happened in the past week? I'm gambling again. That kind of coincides with the basketball. That doesn't coincide with the rejection, but that coincides with basketball. I'm gambling again, and I'm hot. I'm actually gambling on a Chicago Blackhawks hockey game as I make this. They're up 3-0. Go Hawks. I'm on a heater, folks. And I'm taking my heater and I'm taking my talents to Pittsburgh this weekend. So if you'll be in Pittsburgh the weekend of, I don't know what day it is, the weekend of the 27th, I will be at the Rivers Casino probably 3 days. Probably stuck there at the roulette wheel for 3 days. All right? That's my plan. Plan on gambling a lot and having a lot of fun and hang out with my friend who just got a residency. He and a couple of doctor friends. I will be there. Also, I am not a doctor friend. It is what it is. People are tweeting at me dumb stuff. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry for those watching video and stuff like that. So I have to record the episodes with my phone because I don't really have the camera right now. But the phone does great stuff. I got like the 12 something, and it records some super high quality stuff. So yeah. But I'm gambling again, having a lot of fun. If anybody knows any like noteworthy strategy on how to bet like at the craps table, please tell me. If you're gonna say do martingale, I'm gonna throw you out of here. If you're gonna say do the iron cross, I might listen to you for a little bit and then I'm probably gonna throw you out of here. If I need a craps strategy, so if you're a craps player, let me know. I used to be a roulette guy. I'm not a blackjack guy just because I'm a contrarian and that's the game that everybody plays. So I want to play roulette. Apparently baccarat is like the best odds for regular people to win as baccarat, but people are afraid to play it because the letters are Chinese and they can't read them. At least the letters were Chinese at the casino I went to that one time. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gambling again, having a lot of fun. Hot, man. So yeah, ride the train. Just text me for picks. My buddy texted me today. He goes, "Hey, I need a pick bad." I said, "Chicago Blackhawks. They're up 3-0 in the second period." I don't know what to tell you. When you're hot, you're hot. So it's hard to tell what I'm going to use this money that I've won on. Because last time I went on a big gambling run, I bought podcast equipment. Maybe I'll buy streaming equipment. And because I have this idea, I know this has been a sports-oriented episode, but I have this idea for streaming. And I've told you a little bit about the streaming idea where I call a baseball game on a Friday night. I'm like, there's a high drive to center field, gone, like that type of thing. But like a little bit more insightful and a little bit less like, and Ramirez throws it to Gonzalez over to Smith. 1, 2, 3 inning, twin killing, double play. Like I'm not doing that. All right. I'm not going to be like Whitey Wallaby, the announcer from the 40s. All right. I'll be me. I'll be funny. But I want to call a baseball game because I feel like it'd be fun. Another thing I want to do with baseball and with streaming is that baseball video game, MLB The Show. I don't play much video games anymore, but this baseball game is coming to Xbox, so I figure I'll buy it. And I would love to stream me playing all 162 games of a baseball season. Now, I'd have to figure out streaming schedule with my job, with my comedy aspirations, with everything involved. Figure out how can I play optimum amount of games so people stay intrigued, because baseball games, especially video games, are long. It's like 45 minutes a game. And I think it'd just be fun for we can all come along for the ride. I plan on picking like a really bad team with not good prospects and trying to somehow muscle them up and like use my managerial knowledge and use my baseball knowledge to make them an okay team. You should see this spreadsheet I have. It's got a full like pitching plan. It's got a full like hitting plan. It's like minor league development plan. It's stupid. It's going to make no sense because these are video game people and they're not real. So it's obviously not going to work as well as it would if it were a real person. But it's something fun that I like to do. I've invited a couple of my friends that are still working with professional baseball teams to like give me input, give me insight on how they would run a ball club, some of the decisions they would make in game, some of the trades that they would make. So if you're a baseball fan and you're interested in that, it should be a lot of fun if I can get the streaming equipment, because streaming's a weird thing, and it's confusing. I don't understand it. I don't have proper setup, whatever, camera, all that stuff, man. But yeah, that's one thing I want to do is stream all 162 games, get a real storyline going, and maybe I'll let people commentate games if they want to commentate. I'll let people uh I'm not gonna let you guest manage, but I'll let you guest join in. I'll let you hop in the chat or something like that and talk to me while I'm playing, unless I get distracted and down by 5 runs and then you're gone. The thing is with me, like, I don't have like an anger problem, but like it wouldn't be fun if I didn't get a little bit riled up. Like baseball managers get riled up. That's what they do. They throw little tantrums like kids out there on the field. But it's a video game. They can only mess up. I think the only call they mess up are like balls and strikes. They don't really mess up tags or balks or a ball in play or out of play. They don't really mess that up in video games, I feel like, because it's like programmed in there. They mess up balls and strikes. I do know that. But like you can only get thrown out, and you can't get thrown out. I just realized that they won't let you argue in the game. So I'm gonna have to do a virtual. Here's how it's gonna go. I'm figuring it out as I go. Okay, so I'm gonna do a virtual thing where I get angry. I get mad in real life, and I get thrown out. I throw myself out, and then I'll let somebody take over and guest manage the team for like 4 innings or something like that. Or maybe I get thrown out first pitch of the game because I got bad blood with the team and they hit my guy or something like that. Who knows, man? Baseball is weird. Baseball is a funny sport, so who knows like what's gonna happen with doing that, man. That sounds like a really fun idea. Honestly, I got to figure out what team I want. I know I plan on picking like one of the worst teams. Right now, my early pick is the Pirates. But the thing with the Pirates is they actually have like their farm system is getting better and better. Like their farm system ranking right now is like upper middle. Their farm system next year ranking is going to be up. Like they're building a good farm system in Pittsburgh. So the only thing that would appeal to me there is that they have a bad big league team and they have no money. So there's that. The Colorado Rockies, however, who have some money, they only have like one good player. They literally have one good player in Trevor Story, and that's it. So, like, would I just be them? They don't really have a lot in the minor leagues right now, and maybe this would be fun. Like, maybe I'll stream it and it becomes a thing in the baseball community, and like actual players or front office guys, or coaches or whatever, managers, like want to get involved and they want to talk and they want to chat and they want to hear my thoughts and my philosophy on the game and stuff like that. I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be a fun idea. Baseball doesn't get a lot of love anymore. It's truly become America's pastime. I think it's great. Like, I'm genuinely, the one thing that ironically got me over the West Virginia loss was like, well, baseball season's like right here, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. West Virginia baseball struggling out of the gate a little bit. Just lost to Marshall today, but yeah, man. As far as like Major League goes, like it's gonna be a really fun year. I'm really excited to see what the Mets do. I made a couple bets last night as far as over under team wins. I think I picked the under on the Atlanta Braves. They had it, I think, at 90.5 or 89.5. I just think top to bottom that division is gonna be so tough, and I question the pitching. And the Pirates over. They had them at 57.5 or 58.5. I think they'll win 60 games, and that's it. Because they do have a couple decent players. Brian Reynolds is good. This has become a sports podcast. Oh my God. Brian Reynolds is a good player. Kevin Newman can hit for 300, and same with Adam Frazier if they really want to. Jacob Stallings, the catcher, arguably should have been an all-star. Really good catcher. Great at pitch framing. Really good catcher, Jacob Stallings. And it bothers me because he's super slow. And when you're playing video games and you're screaming at the TV for a guy to, get on his horse and his speed rating is like a 0, makes you not like the guy in real life. Let's see. Anything else I got here? I was going to talk about David Dobrik. And the reason I was going to talk about David Dobrik is because he's like in the headlines. But then I see the stuff he's in the headlines for, and I'm not informed enough to give a joke or an opinion on that. And I really wish I was, because that's an easy way to get views, is just to talk about people that are just being like piled on. And I don't know the state of his stuff. I know he's coming out with a billion apology videos, and he comes from the Chris D'Elia School of Crisis Management, apparently. But dude, the thing with guys like David Dobrik, and I had an ex-girlfriend that really liked David Dobrik. She watched his vlogs, and she liked Ellen. And there's an overlap, and I'll tell you how. It's all yang with them. There's no yin. So it's all yang, it's all positive stuff. There's no balance. You don't see behind the curtain. So you see Ellen and you see David Dobrik, and they're just handing cars out like they're candy. They're constantly giving stuff away, always laughing, smiling on camera, happy-go-lucky. Nothing negative has ever happened around them. They just, have this good things. They just have this gravitational pull of good things. And when you pull back the curtain and they're not that, it makes people not like them even more, because they've been put on this pedestal that they've never done anything wrong in their lives, which is not true. Which is why I always come out and say, hey, I'm a gambler. I have a problem. Sometimes I get a little bit egotistical. I'll let you know right now, some of my takes suck, and I'm probably going to make you upset with some of my jokes sometime. I'll tell you that right now. It's a joke, It is a joke. I'm a comic. It is a joke. It's an act. It's not real. Boom. Get out in front of that. All right. So, these people, it's like I said, it's just all yang. There's no yang. So it's all positivity. And all this negative stuff comes out, and people are just shocked. I'm not shocked. It is ironic, though, that now he's apologizing for it now that there's heat on him. And apparently, this story came up in 2019. And now he's apologizing now that all these sponsors are pulling out money. And obviously he's going to make a billion apology videos. He's like, I'm not, he said, I've never watched a single David Dobrik video in my life. Okay. I got to preface that by saying, I watched his apology video, the second one, part 2. I watched the second one, and he said in the second one, I'm not taking down the first one, even though it was insensitive and wrong. Is he getting money from the first one? Is he getting money from the first one? I'm not taking it down. I'm leaving it up. Gotta be getting money from that first one, right? But yeah, Ellen DeGeneres, David Dobrik, same corporation, different division. Oh, look how nice they are. What do you mean they're not nice all the time? It's that, man. I think that'll do it. I don't think I have anything else. I got my COVID shot last week. Feel fine. I haven't grown a horn. I haven't pledged allegiance to China or Russia or whatever country they're shoving down our throat that we should be afraid of this week. I haven't pledged allegiance to any of those. But yeah, man, I'm alive and breathing. And here we go. One last thing. I'm so sorry. One last thing, and I'll let you go. Speaking of the COVID vaccine, saw a guy on Instagram. Okay, saw a guy, the cardboard sign guy. All right. Some of his stuff's funny, some of his stuff's not funny. Whatever. The cardboard sign guy with blonde hair, sunglasses, always wears a mask. I think he's in New York. He came out with a sign. I think it's today, the 23rd, Tuesday, that said, no one cares what type of COVID vaccine you got. This guy has countless donation things in his bio. He's always promoting, take the virus seriously. You see him on the street wearing a mask every day. And dude, for you to come out and say, we don't care what vaccine you got. Yikes. I want to see everybody's vaccination card. And I do kind of care a little bit what one you get. Just because it's something to talk about. Not because I think it's weird that Pfizer, is known for doing shady stuff. If you had a NASCAR, Pfizer had a NASCAR. All right, they sponsored NASCAR. If you had a NASCAR, I don't want to put your item in me. I don't want to put your item in my bloodstream. I don't want to put your item, I don't want to be associated with that. I got Moderna, so, I'm still alive and breathing. But for the guy that was always preaching take the virus seriously and always having these hot takes on his little cardboard sign to say, we don't care what you got, I don't want to see your vaccination. That's really made me lose a little bit of respect for the guy. Not that I had a ton to begin with. And then I saw who owns / runs the account, and it's F. Jerry, everyone's favorite Internet friend F. Jerry, the notorious joke stealer, the notorious meme stealer, the notorious bad Instagrammer F. Jerry, that whole company. Great that those two people are in cahoots, because now I can just hate them both equally. Let that hate out of your heart, folks. It feels good. My therapist told me to do more things that I want to do for myself. So letting hate out of my heart is one of those things. So next week's episode, probably going to be a doozy. Because we're talking about mom and therapy this week. All right. Hey, thank you guys for stopping by. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Franco's World. And in the meantime, keep taking care of yourselves. See ya.